All right, welcome to Doing It with Doug. Today we've got a 2000 3800 International Skoolie, our AKA Rosalita. And Rosalita didn't have anywhere to go to the bathroom in it, so we had to put a toilet in it. When you put a toilet, we need the black tank, and we needed to go ahead and do the gray water tanks. So I split it between two systems: the gray water, which is your sink, and the shower has a valve and a diverter valve to go into a 28-gallon tank. And then on the other side, the toilet goes straight in a 28-gallon tank. So I've got a couple videos hanging the tanks, the strut structure that I put up for the tanks, and I'll kind of guide you through it. So let's go back and show you the end result, and then I've got the videos on how to do it. So again, straight tanks, simple, one on each side. They don't hang too low. I've got the valve to go ahead and get the gray water or the black water. Everything runs back. So now when we're inside, we're camping, we can go ahead and have gray water, black water straight up to the RV. So yeah, let's go and get this done. All right, so let's just go take a look for the Skoolie here. Putting a 31-gallon tank, one on the black water, one on the gray water. This is the gray water. I've got the pipes already gone, but I just want to kind of go through my setup here. So I took a unistrut frame. I've got it bolted up and tack-conned up to the stringers up here. So I also used a little bit of both. So what we're doing is we're going to hang. So if you can see here, this is the profile of the tank. They got little finger claws, right? So what the idea is you've got the finger claws, the tank's gonna sit on here. This piece right here is to lock the top of the tank. So if we're taking a look at the tank only weighs like 3 pounds, right? If that, and if it bounces up, it'll come up off here. So what this does is when everything's tightened up, this clamps that tank in there. So there's 4 spots in the tank. These kind of go up here. I've got some brackets up in here to show you how you got them. Got them kind of hung up, kind of like that. Everything's loose, so you can kind of shimmy everything around, get everything the way you want it. And then I've got just these kind of hanging here. We'll glue them back up in a second. I just mark the tanks to where this is going to go. So right now I've got the showers right here, and then I've got the kitchen right here. And the shower, I went ahead and put a little diverter valve up there on the other side of the P-trap. So now if we don't want to put it to the tank, when this finally goes in, you're going to be able to just take this, click it, turn it, boom, and then you'll just dump your shower water off. It's actually going to be a nice little setup. Everything will square up. I'm going to put the tanks on. I'll put this one, and we'll just we'll do another little video kind of showing you how it's done. But I went and looked, and I had a hard time trying to find the hangers, so I just kind of made these hangers. Now 200 something pounds when the tank's full. I mean, to be honest with you, I could probably hang a bed up here and sleep in this thing while this thing's driving, so I'm not too worried about the weight. But it kind of makes it nice because you can adjust the track, tighten everything down, torque it when you're done, and it makes for a really, really nice little hanging setup if nobody's done it like this. All right, so I'm gonna go back in the tank. I got the tank kind of sitting here. A little bit about this tank, you can kind of see, and everything's kind of loose. So left, right, I've got these angle brackets. Really nice with this kind of tank setup because it has a lip here. Goes under the lip, the brackets got it, everything tightens up. I've got a Studer vent down there, and the Studer vent, this one's kind of unique. It's a 3-inch vent, and it has a charcoal filter in it. So allows air admittance in, air out. With the charcoal filter, you can replace the charcoal filter, they say, every 2 years. Should be able to keep some of the smells down. So I'm hoping that that'll work without having a vent all the way up through the roof. But nice option. I've got these pipes just sitting in the bungs right now. I have to glue everything up, but kind of give you an idea of the setup here. I'll get everything tightened up. But looking around, you can kind of see I'll swing out kind of a little bit. That was that shower valve, P-trap, a little closer to the wheel well I like, but that's just kind of how it turned out. And then what I'll do here is we'll go on the back. So it hangs down just a little bit, but I would really have to hit a very huge bump. I mean, I've got for ample ground clearance sitting under under the bus here, and then I'll go ahead and pipe out 1.5 inches for the drain. And then on the other side of the tanks, I've got the black water down here. You'll see I'm going to bring that back around here, so I'll have one complete drain. And I've got a spare tire holder down here that was fab, so anything happens or I take a big old hump, I've kind of got the bottom of the tanks protected. And then also doing it like this, you can see here how the brackets work a little better. You know, with that piece going in here, it holds that tank in place when I tighten down. So that'll hold the tank. Really, when you do that, you don't need any bottom supports. So it's kind of nice. I don't need any other thing or frame. You know, sitting under there, it's pretty much just a tank. All right, so working on black water. I'm gonna finish this up today. We've got a 3-inch drain line pipe coming out of the toilet right there. And then I have just a sink coming out from right here, which is 1.25 inches. So I'm gonna take the 1.25 inch, snake it around here, back to the tank. Same kind of setup on the black tank. Same hanger assembly. I'm gonna run 45s. We'll get that plumbed up. Show you what it's gonna look like. Coming to the top of the tank, we'll get that tank drilled, put back up. And then the other side was the gray water. So like I said, showed you earlier, the gray water's done. Let's finish this black water, and then we'll get everything tied in the back, and I'll finish it up and show you what we got. Okay, so real quick, I'm just gonna go through the tank procedure for putting the holes in. Just use a standard hole saw bit. Kind of mark your tank. You had your marks up there. The way most of these works, we'll just take a look at the rubber one. Once you've cut it, those fit in there, and then they have a slide-in piece right here that you go ahead and glue your PVC to. It's going to go in here, snap in there. What I usually do, you're going to spray a little bit of soap and water, slide it down in there, and it's going to lock that in place. So got the sink, toilet, and then that vent. This vent, like I said, this is it right here. It's going to go into there, press down. There is a little package in here, and for those that were wondering, they will pull it. That little package is in here. That is the actual piece that goes in the top. It actually fits right in the center of it. So if I take a look at the top, sorry about that. If I take the top off it, you're gonna notice in here it kind of looks like a little star. This piece right here fits tight inside there, which pushes down in there with a tight seal, and that's gonna give you your filler on here. That's gonna be your activated charcoal for odor control. Then when that's done, this is pretty much just the top, goes back on there. So let me get this in place. I've also kind of set my little table up. I went ahead and marked and did my PVC fittings. So these are all glued up right now. They'll go back up under the bus. Makes it real easy. That's a toilet that gets glued back up. So let's get this, let's get the tank, and let's get it back in place. Okay, welcome back. I just got some of the plumbing for the black water just kind of set in place. So I had on this side of the wheel well, this is kind of where my sink ended up. It's not ideal because it's actually in the wheel well, but what I did is I routed it back. Just so anybody that's doing it, I dry fit everything, and then I go back and I mark all my fittings. So that way I'll pull it out, glue them, and put it back up as a single piece. I actually, over here, I needed to make sure I had a little swoop of a bend so I'd get away from this mud flap. So I heated it up just with a heat gun, just to make it a little pliable, to give me a little bend so I wouldn't hit this piece. Kind of runs back. That's gonna go back up into here, go on top. Now I've got my tank marked where this is going. My toilet, unfortunately I couldn't go straight down with the toilet just because of where the toilet ended up. And I needed to have a little space back here because I still got to run a portion of my exhaust back through this opening right here out of the rear wheel. So my exhaust kind of came down. It went where the tank is now. It kind of went down this path all the way to the back of the bus. So I had to take the exhaust out in this back so I could get this tank in there. And now I'll run the exhaust back. But I've got the toilet going down here. I've got that fitting made, and then the sink, that fitting's made, everything is marked. So I'm gonna go take the fittings, glue them up, take the tank down. I will drill the tank out, put the rubber bungs in there and the Studer valve, and get it ready to set back up, and then I'll get everything glued back up in place. Hello again. All right, so we finished black water, gray water. I've got the dump valve in, and kind of go through, show you some things that were finished up since the last time. So I'll put the valve off here. I'm gonna kind of come down and take a look. So coming off from the tank, I put some strut just as a hanger. Coming out the other side, kind of comes down. I've got some ports up under the bus, and then the gray water come out. So overall, I think it turned out pretty good. Got the black water valve, gray water valve, the piece, everything sloped down to where I've got some slope in order to drain it. I can always take I know the black water is a little long, but I can always just take a hose. Well, that's it for this episode of Doing It with Doug. I hope you at least learned something for the tanks. If you have to do it, just get it done. Find yourself some time, get the parts, just get it done. Next up, we're gonna have a 1990 stand-up jet ski. It just so happens that I sunk it in a lake last week, and we're gonna go fix the rear seal on it. See you next time.